The third and the last Cytodontis decorus has passed away. All three of them died in the span of a month or two, having been with us for 8 years. So this is certainly a pattern. From the looks of it, my best thought is they got overcome by saprolegnia or by high bacterial count. I haven't cleaned the filter for too long. So as a result of this, I cleaned the filter, and our water is much better now. So I think these guys suffered from that, because I don't see any other reason for them to have died. It looked like it affected their gills. They had problems breathing, getting less and less oxygen over several months, until they finally pretty much suffocated. Poor things, I think. First the biggest, then the smallest, and this is the biggest was the biggest female, the smallest was the male, and now this is the second female. 8 years old, 9 years old or so maybe. Tank bred, 10 inches length. Before I thought maybe it's just because they're tank bred or captive bred that they don't have the longevity, but I'm pretty sure now my bet is with the filter not being clean and overdue for cleaning. Lost one of our biggest banded Leporinus. This guy's the tail was inked at about 14 inches. Probably a girl, rather. I have no idea what happened. There were no indications that something was going to happen. I did transfer the female mitis in there about a week earlier. I don't know if she's done it, but the other three look okay, I think. So we used to have 5 of them, 5 rescue Leporinus. We lost one about a couple of years ago, and that's the second one. I have no idea how old this fish is, because it's a rescue from a pond. Our NTT datnoid got sick probably about half a year ago. It was some kind of a withering sickness. His eyes became swollen and bulging, and he still had appetite all this time, but less and less and less, and I just had to euthanize him because he couldn't keep himself upright anymore. His swimming bladder is totally deflated. He was lying on his side and still trying to eat, but anyhow, this was useless, so I had to end his misery. Got him about 3 years ago at about barely 2-3 inches, say 2.5. Today his tail got trimmed by the tank mates a little bit. I'd say he's about 7.5 inches from 2.5, so it's 5 inches in 3 years. Very slow growth, which is usual for this kind of fish. It looked like symptoms from other fish we had, some cichlids, and had the same thing, and some perches. It wasn't thiominase because he was eating pellets very well, ever since we got him 3 years ago. He was actually sold to us or given to us as a rescue or as a second-hand fish from a pier on Monster Fish Keepers, Snookans. Anyhow, that's the end for this guy. That's our one and only NTT we ever had. We'll try again if we give it a chance. We lost our polleni cichlid, Heterotilapia polleni, starry night from Madagascar. 9 inches, 5 years old. It did alright for the first 3 years, I would say. Everything's been fine, and then it started struggling. It would seem to overeat and then go on the fasting periods. And when it overate, it's got these lesions here and there, which I noticed happened with other cichlids as well. And now the final disease is it got swollen all over pretty bad, like many of our cichlids did before dying, which I used to think, and I attributed it to columnaris, but I'm not sure anymore. Anyhow, 9 inches, 5 years old, gone too soon.